You're listening to an Adventures in Middle-earth actual play using Fantasy Grounds. You can find session summaries, items and characters on Obsidian Portal, where our campaign is called In the Shadow of the Mountains. You can cross-reference this episode as 2946 Third Age of Leaves and Stewed Hobbit, Episode 3. You'll find links to that and our other forms of media for our sessions, as well as an index of this episode in the description. Last episode, the party caught up to the missing hobbit Dodi at a ruined hillfort, fought a battle atop its summit, but in the chaos the unfortunate hobbit was abducted, forcing the party to once again search for him.
So I will give a really quick recap while you're kind of getting familiar and situated again from last session. It's on Obsidian Portal if you need to review it afterwards. You basically, after a very scary night, spent about half a day travelling north and then east, where you discovered what looked like a site of a skirmish, some trade goods and stuff on the road. You followed a trail of both some sort of humans, potentially a hobbit, but more worryingly some orc footprints going east, only a few miles to a hill, on top of which had a hill fort. And as dusk came down, you navigated up to the top of that and discovered Dindi. You'd found him, and they had been ambushed, and also some caravan guards, basically, led by Egar Longleg, who was bemoaning the running ambush by a small group of orcs, and he was very concerned there may be a larger force coming to attack at night. And he was proved correct. You were all attacked overnight, but did a great job fending off a fairly large horde of orcs and wargs, to the extent that they turned tail and ran. Unfortunately, just as you were celebrating, turns to anguish as you discovered that Dindi had been captured by the orcs in the melee, and you hear a plaintive help scream coming from down the hill, followed by some orc cackles and laughs, and that's really where you got to. So you're all standing around in the middle of the hill fort. It's dark now. You're just around a fire pit with the dying embers there, looking worried. Over to you.
Can anybody track him, or can we see him?
Definitely can't see him. You haven't tried tracking him yet.
Sigmar, are you any good at this?
Can't remember. I think so. No, not particularly, no.
Did any of the guards see where he went?
They said, well, I know he was kind of this direction. Maybe worth trying to find his footprints. I'm not sure if he went to the edge, just grabbed off that wall or something.
Hathis will go and try and look for some footprints and tracks. He's prepared to give it a go. What do you need, John?
Give me a survival check in the tower. Yeah, you spot some tracks, kind of going that way, and then you kind of lose them a bit, but then you see some tracks roughly where Amalfrida was actually on the wall that are definitely hobbit. There's a big footprint in the sort of softish mud below the wall of a hobbit footprint. You lose sight of it there, but unfortunately when you go around the outside of the wall and spend a couple of minutes with a torch, and in that kind of area you again see what looks like tracks of footprints and then some drag marks, and it looks like that was where it was taken. Fortunately, it looks like that small band of orcs, which are much easier to track than Dindi alone, were heading in that kind of direction along the wall and then out that way.
So that's what we think's happened. That's So he was sort of dragged over the wall and then yanked off that way, so to speak. Okay, I shall relay this to the others with suitable. If people are whispering, I shall whisper. If people are talking normally, I shall talk normally.
And what time of day is it, John, again? Is it late evening, did you say?
It's kind of early evening. It's about an hour after dusk, so it's full dark, but it's not, long time till dawn. It looked like they were waiting till dusk or just after to attack you, and it's only been 30 minutes, roughly 20, 30 minutes since the battle.
I found some tracks. I think they went this way, and I'm carrying a torch, aren't I? So I'll try and follow the tracks, John.
I'll go with him.
Yeah, Monan will fall in behind as well.
Are you all heading that way, yeah?
Hey, you four, are you coming or what?
They're looking... So they've got cuts and grazes, nothing too serious. Egar takes a look at you and shakes his head and say, look, I need to tend to these boys. They're out on their feet. I'll look after your horse if you want. And he kind of shrugs if we want me to do that. To my knowledge, goblins won't be... They'd have come from probably I'm guessing the mountains, which are only probably 5 to 10 miles away. They're not a long distance off at all. Not sure if you want to take your horse up that far.
Just really for your own health, because you're going to stay in a spot where they know you are. If they come back...
Well, we can't really move again tonight. Everyone's looking like slumped, and a couple of them are like just sitting on their haunches on the ground and looking absolutely knackered. I don't think they'll attack again tonight. They've captured someone. I don't think they'll be back. You'd give them a good bloody nose. So, but if you can please bring Dindi back. We've been travelling with him for 3 or 4 weeks now, and good company, a nice fella, and hate to see him in a orc stew pot at some point.
that's the plan.
Okay.
Okay, let's get after Dindi then.
Yep.
Okay. So you discover the trail leads not far from the ring fort, probably only half a mile to a mile. Goes up a fairly narrow ravine heading northwest. The ravine, you can kind of see there's some light from the moon and the stars above, and the ravine's going deeper and deeper. It appears to be going kind of deeper into the ground. Eventually you get to a kind of tunnel entrance by the looks of things. So it ends in a cave, some noisome water coming out of it, a fairly nasty reek and smell coming from it. There's rivulets of icy cold water over the rocks in the entrance. It smells of bat droppings and worse. It's just pretty horrible, but it looks like that's where the trail goes. Do you want to investigate the cave entrance?
Do you know,
Yeah.
roughly how many goblins were in this small band, John?
Not many, you think, but probably less than 6.
Okay.
You fortunately did a fairly good job on them.
And the tracks are just going into this ravine and this sort of cave.
Yeah.
I think, time is of the essence, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Is anybody got a torch, or can anybody hold a torch?
I think I had one because that's what John's.
I mean, I've got some torches. It's just with shield and axe, I won't have any hands free.
So who can't see in the dark? I can. I think Moaning can.
I can't.
Neither can I.
Yeah, you'll definitely need a torch. So just a quick rule check on this. I think this is the correct implementation in 5e for dark vision. So if you have dark vision, you're fairly much okay to see within the range of that. For things like combat, where big shapes moving around, if you're looking for fine detail, i.e. making a like detailed investigation of an area or something along those lines, you will need light for that. Otherwise you'd be at a disadvantage. You won't. It's more like, I'm implementing a little bit more like the old infravision in D&D days. So it's like grey shades and fine detail. You get missed from that, but you will be able to quite easily see like hot combatants in front of you.
Well, Hathis will carry a torch in his offhand then, which might make him a bit of a target and make him stand out a bit, but we need to see what we're doing.
All right. So you clamber over the entrance in this cavern, and it's very tough going. It's slow. You're clambering over rocks. It's by no means like an earthen floor that's easy walking. But clambering over a few of these damp, smelly rocks where you can hear bats roosting overhead. You eventually come out, maybe after 40, 50 yards, into a tunnel that's sloping gently downwards. It appears to be heading slightly towards the mountains. And and there are side passages, etc., off this as you go from maybe 100 yards down the tunnel, and you're really having to get your courage together. It's dark, cold, damp, and you're tracking these goblins into the depths of the mountains at the moment.
Oh, lovely, isn't it, boys and girls? Lovely bit of stone above your heads.
Yes.
You faintly, everyone give me a perception check in the tower. See if you can hear anything down here. Okay, so Amalfrida, your acute ears pick up what you think is a singing coming from up ahead. Very, very faint and echoing throughout cavern systems, but it seems to be goblins singing.
All right, I'll motion to the others and then point up ahead and then point at my ears. And I'll point at Hathis and Sigmar and myself and suggest we sneak forward and have a look.
Goblins live down in the caves. Ain't that nothing to eat 4 days? Empty bellies, sharpened teeth, sharp blades in a blackened sheath. I'm not going to sing any more of that. But
that's a relief. Actually, given that Amalfrida can't see, she'll whisper that maybe Sigmar wants to just sneak up and have a look and see what's going, because I can't see without a torch, so I'm not going to be much use.
So there's no light in here apart from our torch?
That's it, yeah. I mean, there's no light you can sense ahead. There has been branching passages. At the moment there, the sound seems to be coming, Amalfrida thinks, from the larger of the passages. You've already gone through some branches and it seems to be sticking to the larger. Doesn't mean it will always stick there. Oh, there's a good one here about dwarf beards. That's a nice verse you heard.
I'll sneak some way down the one that has been indicated to me then with my bow drawn.
Okay, give me a stealth check in the tower. You hear, Sigmar, you've not been particularly stealthy, and everyone else, you can hear some sort of his bow scraping against the wall, small rock falling across the floor, him swearing as he slips down a rock, that kind of thing. So
stack of crates that I knock over.
Yeah, exactly. Whole load of old pans, saucepans you knock on the floor. You fortunately, it's maybe deceptive down here, but you hear no change in the singing. Would indicate they may be a significant time ahead of you. They probably had a 10 to 15 minute head start on you, assuming you've been going the same sort of speed. So yeah, it doesn't trigger anything coming.
I'll turn back and shrug and shake my head.
Okay.
Assuming I'm still within sight of them.
Yeah. You go back about 30 seconds, and yeah, you guys, you quickly see the torchlight. It's actually probably you see a dim outline in the tunnel, probably a couple of corners ahead of where the rest of the party is. Get back to it easily.
Okay.
So I'm assuming you want to track these guys. So
yes.
What I'll have you do is for the scout, and I think that's Sigmar, to make an investigation check to keep following them, because pretty much every junction you get to or branch of the tunnels, you need to kind of investigate carefully to see where they've gone and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So whoever the scout is, give me an investigation check in the tower. Okay, so you, after about 2 or 3 sets of junctions, you haven't heard any singing for a long time, and you think you've got turned around completely, and you can feel everyone can feel a bit of panic welling up in them at this. You are underground, short of food, not too many light sources left, and you're pretty much lost at the moment. Everyone give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Here we go.
It's pretty terrifying, basically.
Oh no.
Okay. All of you suffer and experience 1 point of shadow from that. So on your character sheet, the Sigmar is now up to 2. There is a box saying SHA. If you just increase that by 1.
Where will we find this?
Front
of your character sheet on the main tab. Yeah. Doesn't have any impact until you're a little bit higher than that, and you can reduce them by staying in safe terrain again.
Top, bottom, left, right. I can't see
Middle.
anything.
Center. It's
Smack in the
core
middle.
shaft.
The middle.
Ah, yes.
SHA.
I don't know why they didn't write those out longhand, but anyway, perfect.
What's core? Perm.
Corruption.
Corruption, yeah. So you, if you remember, each of you have got certain basically personality traits that come to the fore if you become corrupt, whether it's greed or violence or something. So that depending on how much corruption you've got, you can call that can be triggered.
Perm is a bad haircut for a man.
Yeah. Kevin Keegan haircut.
70s Keegan and the short shorts.
Okay,
so you get turned around for hours and hours and hours, and you're trudging through up and down damp, dark corridors, clambering over rocks, ducking under boulders, cracking your head on a few low ceilings, etc. Everyone give me a wisdom survival check. You can do this in the open as you're trudging along.
A survival check or a wisdom save?
A survival check, yeah. Survival.
I'm not going to survive.
Okay. Amalfrida, you're okay. Everyone else, though, you can tell this. Oh, actually, Amalfrida rolled twice.
I rolled twice with that first one.
Yeah, you're definitely not okay with that roll. Hathis, you're okay.
Yay.
Everyone else is after like 6 or 8 hours of walking, and you decide you actually absolutely have to rest, trying to get back on track. You suffer a level of exhaustion. So let me just clear.
This is some lightning rescue.
We don't even know this hobbit.
Yeah, not a lightning rescue anymore, and you are now very worried. Just going to apply a nice bit of exhaustion tool. I can't do that. I don't have it. Okay.
Hopefully Dindi will come and rescue us.
Once I finished eating him.
Eating? Why did you say that?
Okay, so at the moment that only has an impact on checks, but you're too tired to really concentrate too much and knackered traveling through here. A little bit further on, Sigmar, give me perception. No, sorry, you don't need a perception. Sorry, a little further on, you get to very clearly a rockfall, and it looks like it's been quite recent. Whether it was deliberately triggered or not, you can't really tell. But it's a partially blocked passage you need to kind of clamber over, and it doesn't look very safe. You've no idea whether the goblins came over here or not, but it's or even which direction you're facing anymore. But it's the way you've decided to go. Do you want to turn back and try and backtrack? You haven't been making any kind of notes on which passage you're taking, or do you want to try and push over this rockfall?
Well, if we don't know that this is the right way to go forwards, we don't know where he is. The only way we do know is the way back. So
you can go on, but it won't be. You'd be pushing over a small rockfall.
We're pushing over a small rockfall, but towards what? We don't know.
Yeah, it's very risky. Unnecessarily risky, I would say.
Okay.
Unless
we can hear singing, which I don't think we've heard that for hours now.
Have we seen any sign or hint of orc or hobbit?
Not for many hours, and you are really concerned. You're actually, it's probably the equivalent now of early mid-morning, so maybe 9-10 o'clock in the morning. You guys have been up now for 30 hours. You're underground. You're just estimating that based on how tired everyone is. It might be worth you while just trying to get some sleep.
Yeah, maybe Kip near the rockfall, because only we'll hear someone coming from that direction, I guess, if they're scrambling over that loose rock. Not too close.
You can go to sleep in here.
Oh, it's cozy down here.
It's like my bedroom back home.
People are exhausted, I think.
Also, we're by this sort of rockfall. If we get attacked from one side, we can always be on the other side of the rockfall, which might give us a bit of defence.
Yep. And a bit of warning if someone comes that way.
All right, I don't like it.
I don't think any of us do.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're putting the normal guards up in order, and you're Hathis, Amalfrida, Monin, and then Sigmar overnight. You all try and get some sleep. Give me another wisdom save to see if you're able to get rid of the... No, sorry, not wisdom. Constitution save. See if you're able to get rid of the exhaustion overnight.
So because I made my wisdom save.
Amalfrida can sleep anywhere. She's absolutely fine. Sigmar tossed and turned all night. And Monin, absolutely fine. So the only person who didn't really get a decent night's rest was Sigmar, unfortunately. Who's still very exhausted come the morning. So Monin, you're wounded still. You're still bearing some wounds. If you wanted to use, after a long rest, healing dice, you can do. Hathis, you've got a very minor wound yourself.
Presumably I can just, having hands of the healer, I could actually just either heal us both before we go to sleep. Can't work on the rules now in terms of when I get that back.
It's under abilities, I think.
Full of healing tricks and techniques that replenish when you take a short rest. So I could probably use my healing dice to heal, hands of heal myself and Monin definitely before we have our rest.
Okay.
If that's all right. So actions, hands of healer. So let's do Monin first because he's in a worse state than me. Can I just drag it onto him, do you think?
Yeah. So this is from your actions tab. Yeah,
Yep.
Just drag it onto him in there.
Oh, lovely.
Nice.
Thank you, Hathis.
Bing! And then I should try and heal myself. I don't need much at all, but I heal myself as well before getting some sleep. Bing! Marvellous. There we go. That's one thing I can help with.
Nicely done. Okay. So you woke up maybe unknown hours later, but most of you feeling much more refreshed and actually more invigorated to continue the search. You've no idea, obviously, where Dindi is. Kind of up to you if you want to carry on. You're looking around pretty resolved to either finding a way out or just dying in this set of caves.
Well, we haven't seen any tracks of them for some time. So if we go back, we might find the point where we lost them. If we go forward, if we're on the wrong path, there's no point in going forward.
Yeah.
We're just going to go wronger.
We're just exploring the mountains.
Aye, and if we can grab ourselves a goblin, maybe we can get him to tell us where the goblin feast is.
All these rock tunnels look the same to me, but presumably, do they all look different to you, Monin? Do you have a better sense of where we're going down here?
Aye, we're all terribly hewn. No workmanship here at all. But we're going down new ones, but I don't know if they're the right ones. I'd say retract then if we need to, retrace our steps.
Yes.
Okay. You decide to do that. Head out again. Whoever wants to. So you might want to consider, based on your experience yesterday, someone assisting with the investigation. So for every, just rack your brains. Every junction you get to, whoever's got a good or the best investigation check, have someone try and help them, which will give them an advantage on the roll.
Well, Hathis is quite good at investigation, it being a intelligence-based skill.
Okay. So whoever you decide to make the roll, make it. If someone else succeeds in a roll, that would mean you'd get advantage. Whoever's assisting you, Hathis, in that, needs to make the roll first.
So if someone wants to help me with my investigations...
I've got poor intelligence. Well, I've got a +0 intelligence.
He's on the scout. Shall I help?
Please.
I'll try to. So shall I roll with investigation then?
Yeah, just roll investigation.
Okay.
Actually, should.
5 or a 6 based on current practice. Oh, it's a 6. There you
go. So just a standard investigation with no additional.
In the tower or out in the open, John?
Do it in. Sorry, I should have said do it in the tower. Yeah. Wow. Okay. After a couple of turns, whether it was luck or finely honed skills from Hathis,
pigeon,
you come across a very clear set of tracks.
Oh, what are these tracks here? Do you reckon these help?
And you turn, basically take a right rather than a straight on, and After a few turns, the tunnel, it's pretty level, actually an earthen floor in it, and it's much easier to navigate than the other tunnels you've been in. Much less tiring. You see after maybe a few times in over maybe a 2 or 3 mile period, some fresh footprints in it, or fairly fresh footprints in it, and convince you on the right road. As you are kind of convinced you'll be walking forever in these tunnels, Hathis, you and Amalfrida hear some sounds of low muttering and stuff coming from up ahead. You all duck back, kind of lower the torch to the floor and stand in front of it to try and dim the light, going up the tunnel as much as you can, and make a decision on what to do. But you think you're getting somewhere where there is sentient life operating.
There's muttering coming from ahead.
Good.
Do you want to sneak forward and have a look and see what we're going to step into?
Monin's taken his shield and warhammer out and grinning.
He's happy. He's found a dust up. Should we send our scout up to have a scout?
No point in me going up there yet.
Can do.
Oh.
I'm having a bad day.
Hang on.
Does my exhaustion level do anything?
Gives you penalties to checks.
Okay, is it something you keep track of, or do I need to?
It's, I think, on the combat tracker, so I think that's all it needs.
Oh, okay.
You sneak ahead a little bit, and in fact, Sigmar did this and discovered, when he jerked his head back, that not more than maybe 30, 40 yards around the corner, it opens up into a bigger area, cavern with a couple of smoky torches either side of the entrance to it, which looks like it narrows down, and there are 2 goblins or orcs maybe on guard there, but they're doing he says to you, they're doing a very bad job. They look drunk. They're kind of slumped on the floor, one's leaning on an elbow, the other one's lying on his back. None of them are even looking up the passage. So he said, yeah, the chance of them seeing him are pretty remote. I'm going to drop you on the map. You're actually a lot further back from here than this, but just to give you a sense of...
Can't see the map. Have you shared it yet,
No, I've
John?
not shared it yet, no.
Come on.
And I will not drop it on. I'm going to remove the pony. I'm assuming Juan's with you, though.
Absolutely.
Ewan?
Never leave home without him.
Never leave Juan without him.
He's not Spanish, John.
I've got it. I'm definitely calling him. It's Juan, isn't it? So yeah, I'm calling him Juan from now on.
Come on, Juan the dog and Pablo the donkey.
I'll let you guys sort yourselves out. And there are a couple of orcs on guard here, gangly and wizened, but they're kind of slumped on the floor, and you are not that close. You're probably 30 yards away, 40 yards away, just peering around a corner. And they're absolutely not looking your direction, obviously not expecting any trouble.
Are they by any chance chewing on a halfling leg bone or anything like that?
You can't flee from here.
Is there enough light for myself and Moaning for myself to sneak up on them, or at least approach them? I know our stealth roll doesn't have to be that great. Do they have any light source at all?
Yeah, so there are some torches. It's basically the worst guard job you can imagine. The torches are kind of here in the tunnel entrance, so they're backlit by some nice torches behind them. The torches aren't throwing much light out beyond roughly where Gangly is. So you can sneak almost right up to Gangly without him even spotting you. And they're singing very sort of slurred, in quite a quiet way. Obviously, you don't want people inside the passage to hear them. But they're kind of singing together, throwing the odd stone at each other, laughing in a grotesque, orcish sort of way, occasionally.
Okay. I've got my shield and axe ready. I'll try and indicate, I can tell Moaning if we're that far away, or take the nearest one, or I'll take the furthest one. And if he takes the nearest one, if we get as close as we can, and hit them with something sharp and heavy.
Is there any kind of alarm mechanism that we can see bell or everything like that.
No, a good set of lungs on a good set of orc lungs is about it by the looks of it. So whoever's sneaking up, so I'll leave it to you guys if you want to discuss a plan, like plan A, plan B. If it all goes well, what's the plan? If it like something goes to cock, what's plan B basically, and then you can implement it.
I imagine plan B is to run like hell in the other direction. Plan A is to hit two things.
Hit them till they stop moving.
Yeah.
Sort of battle cry, dodge in.
No battle cry.
And you said they're doing a very bad job. So are they actually physically sleeping, or they just look drunk?
No, they look like they're just having a chat and not actually doing any guarding whatsoever, and they're drunk as well, based on their slurred singing.
Just have to hit them hard. Make sure they don't get away.
Okay, so what I will do, I'll move.
Are we actually in this room with them?
You are right across the far side of the cave where the tunnel comes into this large cavern. I'll move the three who are not going to be taking the lead on the stealthy infiltration there. What I'm going to need from Amalfrida and Monin. So Sigmar, I'm assuming have you got like a bow out?
Yeah.
Ready to bowing just in case it all goes tits up or something. Okay. So Amalfrida and Monin, give me a stealth check in the tower. Okay.
This will be at disadvantage, presumably.
Yes, you are in heavy armor, aren't you? Yep. Okay. Amalfrida, you are wincing at the noise that
The noise
Monin is making kind of pretty much next to you.
Monin's going to look over at Amalfrida and go, shh.
Strangely, though, I mean, these orcs don't notice, and it is genuine like a clank here and there you hear, and they still don't notice. So Sigmar, you and the rest of the crew are probably 30 yards, so 90 feet back from there. So just make that an allowance when you're attacking, if you bow, and for running up. But what I want is initiative from everyone now, and we'll get to see who acts first. But basically, Amalfrida and or Moaning, whoever acts first, you can coordinate your own actions to kind of act simultaneously from there if you want. Okay, Amalfrida, you act first. Moaning, you get to act almost immediately afterwards.
Okay.
Okay, so what I want to do is to step up to here and hit this thing with my axe.
So what happens basically, Moaning, I'll move you in simultaneously. You kind of stealthily until literally 10-15 yards away, jog up and then run in sprinting quietly. You're not screaming battle cries and stuff, but they look completely bemused. So actually they're prone, which means you get advantage on them as well. They didn't wake up, sit up even from that. So give me an attack at advantage for Amalfrida. Stuart.
Yeah. Oh,
just at the last minute. Oh no. Just at the last minute. As must be caught a sound from you, or just saw a shadow pass over his peripheral vision, but the orc almost like rolls backwards out of the way as your axe blow comes thwacking down and embeds itself in the floor where he was the second before, and unfortunately missed. Monin, this is a surprise round though, so it's not all over yet. Your action next.
Is this at advantage as well?
Yep. Whew, lucky. That could have gone worse.
Cool.
Okay, that's a hit. You got
5 damage.
5. I thought that said -5. It says =5. Okay, so that was the surprise round.
Well, we were surprised at how rubbish it was.
3 of those 4 rolls were.
Sigmar, did you want to loose a bow shot at either of those from about?
Yeah, can I move and shoot?
Yeah, so if you can move 30 feet closer, which would be basically about 90 feet away, I think, looking at that roughly.
And I can move. I can do a what do we call it? It's a cunning action. That makes me.
Yes, you can basically take a double
dash
move.
is a bonus action.
Okay, so you're about 60 feet away then. Just keep a mental note of that. So leave yourself where you are. Whatever your range is for a bow, it's 60-foot shot.
They're prone though. I think you might get a disadvantage.
80.
Yeah, prone characters you get a disadvantage. Unfortunately, yeah. Thanks for the reminder there. So disadvantage. Just click disadvantage before you roll to hit.
Got a colleague within 5 feet.
Yeah, but unfortunately I can't do it if I've got disadvantage.
Ah.
Where's is. Okay, so neither of them been hit. Is that right? Oh,
No,
I've-
one has,
Moaning hit.
Gangly has been hit.
Hit him in
how
the...
do I target it? Troubles. That's it. Right, hurrah!
Ooh, arrow skitters off the floor next to Gangly and misses. Hathers, you doing anything in the surprise
Yes,
round?
I'll do just a full move. I'll say, come on, boy, to Juan, and we'll move on up. Just
Okay,
moving.
so you move up next to Sigmar, basically. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Amalfreda, this is... Fortunately, you do get to act first in the normal... So this is out. They're out of surprise now. They're scrabbling to, like, oh, it's my fucking
Are they
weapon.
getting up?
Scimitar's gone. They're
just normal
looking
attack.
like they're trying to... They're kind of scrabbling around the floor. I can't even remember where they put their weapons and stuff. They're trying to find those at the moment.
Right.
So
Do I
Amalfreda,
still get advantage on the attack because they're on
yeah,
the floor?
they're still prone at the moment, but
Excellent.
they will be getting up.
Right, let's have another go.
Yes.
That's more like it. Ooh, nasty. Okay, so meaty thwack with his scimitar.
I
Interesting.
will probably step to there.
Okay,
Monin will
Monin.
jump on top of this orc and try and clamp his hand on its mouth and grapple with it.
Okay.
Did Monin's damage get applied last turn, John?
I hadn't targeted it, so it's my fault if it didn't.
Oh, hang on. I could just drag it onto it. Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, because
That was against
Gangly.
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 That's better.
Okay, so give me a strength check. You've got... you won't need advantage, I think. Hang on, let me make a strength check for him. No, you easily subdue it. You've basically... You've got him in a classic dwarven pinning move, using... Basically, your beard and stomach to pin him to the floor. And he's struggling, but you've got your hand clamped firmly over his mouth, and you've got his two arms pretty much pinned. You've got your elbow pressing in his elbow, and he's like squealing a bit through his rancid breath that you can smell. Okay, good job. Next up is Sigmar.
Sigmar. So the one with Monin. So the one that Monin's dealing with is bound. Is that right?
Yeah, he's basically being grappled on the floor. You can see like limbs flailing around. Monin seems to be well on top of the situation.
And is the other one still prone?
Is the other one still prone? Yeah.
I am going to wait till he gets up and then shoot him.
Okay.
The other one.
So just readying an action, no worries.
Yeah.
Next up is Hathis.
Hathis will double move in the direction of Monin.
Okay, so this is where you are on the map now.
Okay,
So
so
you basically get up really close by.
I'll do.
Like 10 feet away. Okay.
Yep.
Next up is... So Gangly, struggling, but for the life of him underneath Monin, is trying to get up now. He's got really... So you can tell Monin, you couldn't say until you're on top of him, but his armor doesn't fit him at all well. It's way too big for him. And you can tell he's like, even his like elbows don't bend in the right place for the armor and stuff like that. So it looks quite cool, but he's obviously going for style over substance with this. And as a well knowledgeable armorer, you think you're like chuckling to yourself under when he's underneath you. He's going to try and break free, probably quite badly. So give me another strength check if you can.
In the open.
Yeah, do it in the open. Easy. You are. I mean, he's like fighting himself as much as you, by the looks of things, in his armor. So he's still prone on the floor. The one in front of you, though, Amalfreda, gets up to his feet. He's also seems to got
Twang.
That triggers an attack from Sigmar. Amalfreda only is a little bit obscuring your route to him, so you can get a standard attack at -2.
Oh, well, I'm going to roll a 6 or a 5 anyways.
20.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to. I won't roll a 6.
Nice. Okay, roll twice and apply the best damage, isn't it?
Yeah.
So just roll 2 damage dice and drag the best one to it. Okay, so that's one set of damage. Shift and click again, and that'll be the second set, and pick which one you want. Second one.
The other one, but I also have this, which... well, basically, sneak attack is an extra d6.
Okay, so
So that's 12
that.
in total.
So 12 to Wizened, wasn't it?
Nice.
And that's not damage. I'll apply one more. Wow, he's taking that impaled in his shoulder, spat him around. He's bumped off the wall. He looks in shock. I mean, he's generally looking in a really bad way. He's. Let me see what he's with you, even kind of to see what the hell's going on. No, he looks like he's sort of staggering that way. So he staggers away from you. It looks like Amalfrida, he's so shocked. He kind of retches over his boots. Must be pain or something. But you get an attack of opportunity if you want one. He staggers away from you. He hasn't even got a weapon at the moment.
Okay. Yep. There we go. Nope.
You're disgusted by this rancid smell of vomit that lands near your boots. Miss him with the attack, with that attack. However, it is your action now.
Okay. Then I will follow up. Probably get to there to cut him off.
Yep.
I'll try and hit him again.
Oh, nice shot.
Much better. Dead.
Thwack.
Okay.
So, yeah, what did that look like, Amalfrida?
Oh, right. I don't know. I probably just of his head. I don't think there's anything more impressive than that. That's all I do is rain blows on people's heads until they stop giving me jip. Really?
Tried and tested.
That works. Okay, Modin, you're up.
Right, you wee bastard. Have you seen the hobbit? Do you know where the hobbit went? Shake your head or nod.
What language are you speaking?
Westron.
Okay, you can hear... Do you speak Orcish at all?
No.
Okay. You can hear some guttural grunting coming from underneath you and a bit of wheezing and a kind of vomiting type sound.
Does anybody speak Goblin?
Why would I speak Goblin?
I don't think I do.
I think that's what he can do. That's probably enough talking for his round.
Hang on a minute.
Can we roll strength again?
That's what you hear. So, you're just going to try and keep him grappled, yeah?
Yeah. Just trying to question him.
Another strength check then. He's wriggling a lot, grunting. He's not even called out.
Well, I'm trying to keep my hand on his mouth anyway. That's why I want him to nod or shake his head.
Yeah, so I'll assume you're doing a good job with that. You can feel some sharp teeth in there, but it's not bitten you yet. Sigmar, you're up.
So it's only one that's active, and he's bound, isn't he? So are we still in combat?
Yeah, you are roughly in, I think about 60 feet away at the moment. So you can go up and assist with that. You can still see Monin struggling on top of this orc shape on the floor.
Okay, I'll dash over. I'll lean close into his face and say moderately loudly, "Where is the hobbit?"
Good man.
Tried and tested communication strategy. I like it.
Yep.
There's more grunting coming. You don't know. You can't make it yourself understood. Hathis, you are up next.
Monin seems to have got the situation in hand.
Only if he keeps succeeding in grapple checks. He's not tied yet.
Okay, in which case I shall move on up to the orc. And have we got a rope? Can we start tying him up, trussing him up, or what do we want to do? No, I don't have a. Oh, I have got a rope. I'll start. I'll get my rope out, John, and collectively the three of us can presumably tie him up if we want to tie him up.
Yeah, you're fairly cautious with it. I'll kind of take you out of initiative. You successfully
Truss him up.
Truss up the orc. I'll just move him out of the way a bit, and you kind of leave him down there afterwards. And you've got him gagged with a bit of rancid old cloth from the other dead corpse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can we search these orcs as well, just in case they've keys or tokens or sigils or passwords written out on bits of paper?
You do find some, like a cast iron crude. It's more bits of it, almost more like a bar of crude iron than a scimitar, but it's roughly scimitar-shaped weapons nearby on the floor.
Mm.
And their armor is really bulky, so it looks like he can't even move around too easily in this
Yeah,
armor.
it's just
either.
rubbish gear.
Yeah.
Does it look scavenged or just really rubbishly made?
Scavenged. So it looks like it's been taken from, or bits of it patched together from all sorts of sources, but also bits of hide and stuff in with it as well. He sullenly, as he's firmly trussed, and you've got him gagged, looks up at you, Moanin, and real hatred in his eyes, but he nods his head.
Good, now we're getting somewhere. Which way?
His eyes go a bit wide, his cheeks puff out, and then projectile stream of vomit pours out of his nose. It blows. If it could have come out of his ears, it would have done. It was like he almost blows his gag out of his mouth, but his eyes roll back in his head a bit. He looks absolutely horrible. He's really, really looking in a bad way on the floor. It's like eyes roll back in his head a bit, and he's like slumped over.
What is wrong with this orc?
Oh, it was clearly partying hard last night.
It's definitely alcohol related.
Yeah.
The stench of some is basically like grain alcohol. It just smells like turpentine. They've been drinking. It's awful.
Let's not waste any more time on these losers.
But he could stop us getting lost again. Or maybe he might take us the wrong way.
I don't think he'd find his ass with his out from his. Yeah.
He's shaking his head and like you can tell you can see his like jaw working, trying to bite through the cloth. He looks like he wants the cloth out of his mouth.
Yeah, I'll take the cloth out. Speak.
Fucking dwarf, he says.
Oh, can I have a dagger? Can I have a dagger ready? Sorry, by the way, just in case he does something.
And he's real hatred in his eyes. It's like glittering in the pale light from the torches down the corridor, and is just swearing curses under his breath. It's very crude Westron. It's not great, but it's like fucking let me sober up and I'll fucking have you.
I just realised I don't have a dagger. It just looks at my inventory.
Just got a huge axe.
Right, he's no use to us. Let's send him back to his masters.
Via a warhammer.
Yeah, we'll knock his helmet off. Last chance. Where's the wee hobbit?
His eyes go large and it kind of goes quiet, and he looks at the warhammer and then looks back at you, and he's tied in the kitchen.
Oh, you've put me in an awkward position now, Goblin. You've actually done something for me, and we have a bit of an agreement, even if you're goblin scum. I'm afraid I cannot do that now. And he put his warhammer to one side. Up to you, lad. He's given me what I wanted. I can't kill him I just can't kill him.
They could show us where the kitchen is. That might be handy.
Well, Goblin?
Kitchen's just further down passage. Next cave, come to.
Bloody helpful.
Well, he's about to get his head
I
stove
go
in.
now. You untie. I promised I'd leave, never come back. Go all the way to Big Goblin Town. Never see me again. Honest.
Yeah. No. I would put the gag back and just knock him out in the corner or something.
Yeah.
He managed to keep his stomach contents inside him, and the gag goes back on.
Yeah.
Can Monin smash his kneecap with a warhammer?
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Sectarian violence.
Well, hopefully he'll not.
No love lost between orcs and dwarves, that's for sure.
Hopefully, stop him leaving this place again and raiding and eating on people.
You can hobble him. I'll give him a reduction to his movement rate based on that.
Right, but I didn't kill
So
him.
roll a d4 for damage. Just to roll a standard d4 and I'll apply it. So yeah, just 1 point of damage, and
Jeez, he's tough knees.
Gangly.
reduces movement rate a lot.
I just realised how stereotypical this is, that somebody with a Northern Irish accent smashing people's knees.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was saying sectarian violence.
Alright, I missed that.
Oh, now I get you.
I was just trying to do something that would stop him being a combatant, but then I suppose that was just a death sentence in the place anyway, isn't it? I'll leave it as that then.
Yeah, he's the mail he's got on. That's enough of a hobble, but he's like properly hobbled now. And you're just going to kind of drag him, like dump him in the cave there or something.
Yeah, just in that dark corner.
All right. and you basically put the corpse next to him with the other one.
Yeah.
So you don't know whether other exits out of this little complex you're entering, but it's definitely where Dindi was taken. You've had confirmation from these guards that he was there. Okay.
Guess we'll have to be quick because I don't know who's going to come this way once they see the sentries missing.
Let's crack on.
Okay. So who's first? How are you kind of navigating into these caves now? As I said, torches east and west of that entrance cavern. It's narrowing down a bit as it goes in.
Well, I can sneak and see, sense Bell in the dark. So, well, actually, specifically, it says that I can't see any better, but my other senses compensate. So,
okay,
I can
you'll be very well placed to go ahead then. All right. So if you want to move yourself to kind of be on point, and the rest probably 20 foot behind. Have you still got a torch lit?
I will probably leave the torch here. If the two torches in this room, I'll be expecting torchlight here. So as a default, I'll probably leave the torch here unless we need one further on. But if there's torches lit, there may well be further torches lit in this complex.
Okay.
And always come back for it if I need to.
I'll mask a bit more of this.
Ooh.
So you can see it's beginning to curve east. Looks like the passageway pretty wide. It's probably 10-15 feet wide. That's about as far as you can see from where you are.
Okay.
You do see a faint light source coming from east from that passage, Sigma.
I'll just sneak along until I can see something then. Probably with my sword drawn rather than my bow, just in case I get jumped.
See, just around that corner, there's some crates on the floor.
Yep.
Okay.
Open, solid.
Solid crates. They're probably 4 or 5 foot square. Don't look orcish at all.
Bloody feet.
Not that you've seen a lot of orcish crates, but they definitely look like they've got stamps and sort of marks burned into the wood that looks like Westron spelling of like organisations, or potentially. As you get in here, you can see
I'll sort of pressed up to the corner.
A cavern. I'll give you a bit more circle from the firelight. So the fire lit in there. Oh my God, who's that on the floor? And on the floor, tied up, is a hobbit on the southern wall.
Dinner Das Brandy Buck.
Looks a bit Dindi-ish.
It looks
Has he got
Dindi-ish.
his eyes open?
It looks like he's got basically his back to you, and he's curled in a ball facing the wall in a fetal position.
Okay, I shall creep up behind the nearest crate then and crouch down, see what I can see.
Okay, so it looks like this is a kind of larder of some description. He's chained, by the looks of things, to and a very thick chain to manacles onto a big loop in this. It doesn't look like it, so it looks like the chain's been repurposed for something else. It's well oversized for what's needed to chain a hobbit to a wall, but it's really big.
Hopefully the manacles are oversized as well. So, yeah, I'll just crouch there and listen for a moment.
Okay, give me a perception in the top.
Shadows moving, or...
See if you can see anything or hear anything. No, you can hear Dindy sort of snuffling, breathing, but that's it. You can't hear any other sounds.
I shall beckon the others up then.
Hammer and shield out.
The next crate.
Okay. Move yourselves up, and I'll draw out the rest of the cave. So the cave's pretty large. Looks like it's stocked with a cook pot over the fire, food in here. There's some old, what look like elven wine bottles, like scattered around on the floor in places. Bones and stuff scattered around the floor. It looks like there's basically a whole load of loot here from probably caravans, coupled with gnawed bones, and disconcertingly, some of them look like there could be human bones, big thigh bones and stuff lying around on the floor around the wall in this room as well.
Do we know what time it is in the day, or is it we lost that kind of?
You have no idea. You kind of lost track. It could be probably within 12 hours. It will be sometime mid-afternoon till small hours of the morning, but you don't know.
Even as a dwarf? Though, to be fair, I've not spent a huge amount of times underground, have I? Because I've been on the Lonely Mountain and then travelling quite a lot.
Give me a wisdom check. Do it in the tower. No, you don't know.
Okay. Where have the rest of these goblins gone?
Well, there's one other exit.
Right, let's speak to Dindi, see what he knows.
Right.
See, it doesn't look like Dindy's noticed you yet. He's like whimpering into himself. It looks like he may even be asleep. He's tried to wrap himself in some musty old fur on the floor there. Pretty ineffectively.
I want to yell out. I'll creep up on him and just clamp my hand around his mouth and
Whisper in his ear, put the hobbit in the pot, eat him up.
kind of eat you.
Okay, you creep up to him. Give me a stealth check. Make it in the open. Don't screw up. Basically, he's fairly well asleep.
Oh, nice.
Very, very quietly, you get your hand over his mouth. His eyes flicker open. You're kind of crouched over him, but you've angled yourself so the firelight's shining on you. Very clearly, a human. His eyes go wide. He's expecting a knife across his throat, and then he goes, "Oh, you found me. How did you do that? Get these chains off me."
All right. Well, it was mainly Hathis.
Over detailed explanation, I feel.
He looks around a bit confused. Can you get these?
Thank you, Hathis. Wherever you...
Yeah, well, I'm assuming that if the chain's too big, the manacles are probably pretty big, so it's probably pretty easy to slip his hands out. Is it anything like that?
You check them. No, the manacles are biting into his flesh. They don't look. They've basically just been bolted to the chain. The chain itself is very, very sturdy, and so is the wall setting. But manacles, unfortunately, look like they're designed for that kind of risk. The sizing is pretty good.
Does the lock look anything like the bit of metal we found?
Oh no, it was just a crude symmetry. Yeah.
Right.
Chop his hands off. I'll teach him.
Yeah, he doesn't really need him, does he? There's nothing like some keys lying around on top of a crate or anything like that I can see. Is there?
You can give me an investigation check to kind of search the area. As you're searching, you can hear a shout come from down the passageway in a minute that says this. Oh, I have a feeling you ain't going to be able to understand a word.
Is it, we have all become pacifists, we'll now follow the elven ways?
Doesn't sound it.
Can we get the tone of it at all? Is it like a barked instruction? Did it sound like alarm? Did it sound like anger?
It looks like someone like moaning. It sounds a bit like a moaning tone, and it's almost questioning.
Where the bloody hell are you two? If I can hear anything coming this way, then I'm going to stop searching for keys.
Is it coming from behind us, or is it coming from further ahead of us, John?
Down that passage there.
Oh,
Further
okay.
ahead of you.
Oh, what was I drinking last night? My head feels like someone shat in it. Be my guess of what he's saying.
So it's the sound of crashing.
Barricade of stuff, or go into hiding.
So at the moment, you've got no way of rescuing Dindi. And well, you might be able to like chop through the chain in many minutes.
How hot's the fire?
It's a cook fire, so definitely, I mean, you know, forges, it's not forge temperature at all.
So I couldn't use it in the smithing tools to heat them up and try and get through a chain link. I mean, obviously not if we had time.
Not unless you really bank it up and get it roaring. You may not even be able to get it that hot in an open fire pit.
Well, I need them to get close because I've got no arrows left, so I can't be shooting any at them.
I'll give you some of mine. For some reason, I've got that 20. What? Oh, no, okay, the ticks, the ones I've shot. Okay, I've not got many arrows left.
Professionals.
I'm thinking, can we make a wee bit of noise and make it look like the guards have come down here? Maybe get Dindi to scream a little.
We can hide and ambush them. There's enough crates.
There's two little holes.
Let's hide. Let's
about
ambush.
30 seconds, you hear in crude Westron again. It's obviously they do speak some of this sometimes. And an orc voice coming from down the passageway saying, "Where's our fucking dinner? Hurry up, we're starving!"
Hey Dindi, could you shout out, please don't let them eat me once we're in position? Should we ambush these lot?
Yeah, let's get behind those crates either side of the doorway.
Okay, so move yourself where you wanna be.
Get your wee doggy up there.
Hey, he's got the best position.
I'm moaning. I'm not the best tactician, but I don't think that's
You're not him.
hiding place.
Oh, is
Take
it?
a barrel over him.
I was just going to hide round the wall and run out at them. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but they're going to come with that arrows.
They're coming
from here. They'll be coming up this way.
Oh, sorry, I thought they're the other side.
I'll see you on the way in.
But I have my eyes closed.
Oh, that's okay then.
That might actually work. 'Cause
What?
make them less likely to notice us.
It's a dwarven skull of stealth. Okay, yeah, sorry.
So move wherever you want to be. That's fine.
Get down there, Sigma, I think.
That's it.
Okay.
Love it.
Good night.
Sorry about that. I thought they were coming from the other side.
Okay. So are you all in the
Yeah.
position you want to be in? Okay.
Yep.
I think so, yeah.
So you took a gander down that passageway. So you can see roughly how far they'll be able to see. So you'll be able to catch them coming round. It kind of goes probably 30, 40 feet and then turns towards the south. So you've got a decent run at it. Dindi gets a nod from you guys and says in a plaintive, high-pitched voice, "Don't let them eat me!" And then repeats it again, "Don't let them eat me!"
Dindi. Remember the guards. It was the guards who tried to eat you, and they run up that way, basically the way we just came.
Okay. "Stop them eating me! They've run out!" And he's like a bit confused.
For God's sake.
Fortunately,
Hobbit so much.
Fortunately, you hear this sort of... There's a very loud belch from coming down the passageway and a bit of a... You can almost picture an orc with his hands on his knees going... lever himself upwards. And then round the corner comes an orc, followed by a really, really hairy-looking bastard just behind him. And they're not moving particularly fast. They're weaving around a little bit. Looks like there's been a hell of a party.
Shaggy.
Superior Forgetful Voice and Shaggy are coming up the corridor now. So what I'd like is everyone to roll initiative again. Hang on a minute before we do that. Let me just set the initiative round.
Like, I didn't know we'd be orcs. That's my terrible Shaggy impression.
Yeah.
Right, everyone roll initiative, please. First up is Sigmar. You get drag first.
Well, I'm going to wait until I. So can we tell that there's two, or do I not know that there's two yet?
But give me a perception check and make it in the open, just to see if you know. There's definitely just whether if there's more than two. You can definitely hear grumbling to each other. No, there's 2, 3, 4 coming up the passage by the sound of things to you.
Okay, well I'm going to wait till. I'm going to wait till two have come through and then jump second one.
Okay. Hath is your action.
Hath isn't going to leap into the fray just yet. The large crate in front of Amalfreda and I, is that particularly tall, John, or is it a pallet? It's like, only 5-6 inches tall, or is it a dog kennels, or?
It's probably about 4 feet tall, so you can easily crouch down behind it. Yep.
Excellent.
And it's more of an open kind of crate. Probably would have held livestock like pigs or something.
Brilliant. And the crate sort of to my northwest, is that sealed shut, or can I have a very quick peek inside just in case it contains throwing daggers or arrows or something useful? Like the lid's just completely...
It's sealed shut, looks like it.
In which case, don't worry about it. In which case, I will just wait until an opportunity presents itself, and then I'll potentially rush forward and attack, but not yet.
Okay, so you spent a bit of time just searching your environment that round. So okay, no worries. Next up, Dindi again says, "Help! They tried to eat me. They went west quick." Amalfreda, your action.
I'll hold my action, I think.
Okay, so just ready.
Up to about there, but I'll hold my action.
Okay, no worries. Next up, so Shaggy, grumbling, comes up the passageway. He just starts literally kind of stumbling along a bit. He gets to there. Does he notice you? No, not at all. And he just kind of walks past around that crate. So you're waiting. I don't think that's triggered anyone's actions yet. And he gets about there and he's going, "Shut your fucking mouth! What do you want?" And then
There's no need
up is Ewan.
Ewan's not doing anything.
He's a pirate orc. Okay. Next one, and they don't have any weapons out. They're just moaning to each other. He kind of follows his colleague round.
Boing!
Okay, you leap from the shadows behind a box and have at it.
Any kind of advantage at all?
You surprised him, so in effect, you get a free action. It loops around to your.
Yeah, but I don't get my sneak attack.
Actually, you would. Holy crap!
God,
On a
lovely.
roll tonight.
Another crit.
Yeah, you would, Neil. So you get sneak attack bonus damage too.
So you do shift damage, is that right?
It knows
that
it's
will
critical.
automatically
No,
run.
it
That
knows
will
it's
automatically
critical,
run
so it's
critical.
fine.
Yeah, it was only for your bow.
Good
Oh,
God!
That's...
Unleash battle cannons!
No, I think I shift clicked it.
That double damage. Okay, so
146 damage.
let me reduce that somewhat, and then you could roll damage again.
Although it's still alive.
Oh, crikey.
And is that correct? No, it should be
D8, 2d6 plus 3.
just roll 2d6 and a d8, Neil, and I'll apply that damage. It's hard to tease that apart.
Well, my damage is D8 plus 3, right?
Yeah.
Plus a D6.
So it's 2d8 plus 3 plus a d6 then. Sorry, do that again. The first d8 is maximized. So roll 1d8 and 1d6. Add 8, add 11 to that, sorry.
Yeah.
D8, a d6 and add 11.
Yep.
Sorry. D8.
Yep.
You can tell we haven't been at school for a while. Our maths is
Add a
awful.
d6. So that's
Well, that's
Seven.
I don't know how to do it. I
That's
don't know.
11.
plus 11 is 18.
That's 18. Yeah.
So confused right now.
Me too.
Okay. You absolutely skewer him in the spine as you kind of come out. He staggers in front of you, almost drops his weapon. That's horrific. So that was a surprise round. Sigmar, Amalfrida, you were also readying it. You had an action ready as well.
Yeah,
In the
they're
surprise
both stepped
round.
in. So I'd like to come across and attack that one.
Okay.
I think it's the only one within range.
Yeah, you just kind of leap over the crate. Oh, you missed him. It clanged off his armor. His armor's bulky, but there's a lot of metal in it. You just hit a bit of that. Okay, it loops round to the beginning of this is like a normal round now. The surprise is over. So Sigmar, you get to act first.
I never got to act last round.
You hadn't readied any action.
I know, but I was last to act in the
Yeah,
round.
but he was after the orc. This is still superior Forgetful Voices round. It triggers.
Oh, sorry, I didn't spot you at
Triggered
the
two
bottom
lots
of the.
yeah.
Really sorry, Monin, you did get to act first.
I'm going to hit him.
Monin was just asleep behind the crate.
Dinner time! Oh, God damn it.
Clanged off his armor. He wasn't even facing your direction when you hit him. It still missed. Sigmar, you are now next up.
Okay, so Sigmar's all the sleep deprivation and the terror of being lost underground has sent him army, so he's wild-eyed and just basically hacks at him.
Cool. Just a miss this time.
We got some serious.
Hathis.
Hathis will try and nip round. Can he get round to land a blow on?
Yep.
Right, he will do so. There's a control click. Yes.
Yep.
And then I need to actions change it from one-handed to double-handed because I've dropped my left torch. This is epic. This is going to be a 1 now, isn't it? Right, go on.
No, 3, and you missed.
I missed. Okay, God.
Amalfrida, see if you can do any better. These have got pretty meaty armor class.
Yes.
Oh, that's more like it though. That's
Yes.
definitely dead now.
Nicely.
Well played. The Shaggy's going, wait. And he takes a look around and swings drunkenly at Monin behind him. He draws his scimitar in a big arc, swings round, almost loses his balance, and completely flails into a crate beside you, Monin. Didn't even have to duck. He kind of came over with an overhand strike, and he must be seeing double. He just hit the crate, not you. Huan.
He's doing nothing, yeah.
Is he doing anything? Yeah. Monin.
Right, come on then. God, missed him again.
Next up is Sigmar.
Sigmar. Yeah, just move round to the other side of him for the moment and try and murderify him.
Nice.
Oh, nice shot. So
Murderify
you
him.
have. So do you get? Yeah, he's an enemy within 5 feet of him. So
Yes.
Yes.
Sneak attack.
Apply that and roll damage normally.
Oh, he's just
Not
not liking
applied
it
it.
up him.
Has it applied it to the creature?
Oh, I don't think I'm
No.
targeted.
That's it.
I did, so don't worry. Hathis. Oh, sorry, did you want to take any more move actions, Sigmar?
No.
Hathis, you're next.
He'll move in. Since we're ganging up on him and trying to club him, he will move in and try and hit him. All this is dangerous, but there's enough of us that hopefully we shall bring him down.
Oh,
Nice.
the Slayer. Cool. He's pretty badly injured now. Dennis is gone.
Finish him, Dindi! Oh, hang on, no.
Amalfrida. Amalfrida's up. Uh-oh.
Yeah, made my attack. Missed.
Oh, damn it. Okay. Next up is Shaggy. Shaggy shouts, more of a grunt than a shout. Ah! And then he swings at... Oh, he does not like dwarves. He swings his scimitar at you, Monin. Oh, awful strike. Monin, you're back up.
Is there a way in D&D of doing like a defensive, like, you know, you parry all and roll mastery? Is there the equivalent of that in D&D?
Yeah, so you can't attack. So it's basically a parry action, which means anyone attacking you gets disadvantage.
So probably,
unfortunately, you can't attack at the same time.
yes, I probably would have done that this round, being honest, if I know I could do that. If I got his attention, then I'll just be taunting him. Oh, looks like you're going hungry tonight, and I'll go full defensive to try and draw his attention while the rest can do it.
No worries. So you parried. He missed anyway. You can tell he's flailing around wildly. He looks almost as drunk as the ones at the front entrance.
Right. Okay.
He's hanging up his belt or anything on.
Sigmar.
Go down, you filthy orc.
Missed. Hathis. Missed. Amalfrida, come on, you can do it. One of you can hit him.
Can't penetrate shields. Yes.
Yes.
That's more like it. Ooh, not in a good way. Moaning, can you finish him off?
Did he not get an attack?
Two of us missed. Amalfrida hit.
That's a good point. Sorry. What's he going to do? Is he going to try and turn tail and run? Nope. So you still defending, Monin?
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to swing at you.
Excellent.
Plan's working perfectly. And missed you. Now it is your attack.
I've my parried with everything, so I don't get attack, I presume.
You
Is
don't.
that your next turn? It's now your turn
Sigmar.
again.
It's Sigmar's turn, sorry.
Oh,
Yep, another critical.
Oh, wow.
Holy
Sigmar's
mackerel.
The Slayer. So it's D8 plus D6 plus 11.
Just drag that to the orc in the combat tracker.
okay.
Yes.
He's dead. He dropped. So for only maybe 5 or 10 seconds was he shouting. It was a bit hoarse and croaky shout as well. And you're breathing heavily after the adrenaline sort of subsiding a little bit in your system. And you're all listening and you can't hear any other sounds coming from the passage that is southeast.
Let's search the bodies, see if they've got any keys.
Quick search of the bodies, crudely armoured like the previous two. No keys, unfortunately.
Can Monin give a good pull at the chains to see if he can pull it out of the wherever it's attached to?
Yeah, sure. Give me a strength check in the tower.
Is that ability or save?
Just a check to see or whatever. It's the ability check, yeah. So you're convinced your sinews are straining against this. You got your feet braced on the wall either side of where this ring is embedded in there, and you're really, really straining with all your might. You're convinced it's moving, but after 10 seconds, your muscles are screaming. You just drop your feet back down to the floor and sucking in lungfuls of air. Didn't move.
Search the room for anything like keys or a crowbar or anything you can use to unlock it all.
Okay, everyone give me an investigation check in the tower. Lots of investigation going.
You know, in D&D 3.5, you had take 20. Is there such a thing in version 5?
No.
Okay.
There is a help feature which you can help someone. So if someone succeeds, that provides advantage to someone else doing the same check. So it's not that relevant for something like searching, but it is more relevant for other sort of skill checks. You don't find keys. You're not that optimistic, but there are some longish pieces of wood from pallets, for example, that you think you might be able to use to try and. You'd have to split them, but they might go through the chain links and try and break it. Although, if I'm being honest, Monin, you're looking at the length, the thickness of the chain, and go, no, that's not gonna snap the links. It will snap the wood.
Hey, I'm free to give us a hand here on these chains, can you?
So, give me. So, if Amalfrid is helping you, give me a.
Can I help as well? Or can only one person?
Only. So it's not an advantage, Stuart. That check. So only one person can help at a time. That didn't aid you, Monin. So I will allow. So a check like this, you can make as many as you want. Each failed attempt, the difficulty increases by 1. As your muscles are getting more and more tired. If you make too many, you'll be like you may cause yourself some exhaustion. What does Battle Fury do? That's advantage on strength checks. Gotcha.
It gives you advantage on strength check.
Only if we're in a rage, which you weren't at the moment, I don't think.
I'll punch her in the
It's like
tits.
barbarian rage. Yeah, you just don't think you can see a way of getting these off.
Can I try then? And can I use athletics?
No, it's pure strength. You're just trying to pull a pin embedded in a crevice in the wall out of the wall.
I'll give it a go then. Yeah.
It should have been a tab, but you didn't.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't succeed with that.
Can't be done.
Oh well, Dodie, you're dead. Bye-bye. Right, I'll have to go in
Chop
further.
his arm off.
Is there definitely a lock to these chains?
Yeah, it's a manacle. It looks actually pretty damn well made. Could even be dwarven. The manacles, they're pretty good.
Can I get a slither of bone and start twiddling away with it instead?
Yeah, you can see if you can try and pick it. What would be the best? Does anyone have any lock-picking capabilities?
This is a skill. Well, I've got sleight of hand, but that's the lockpicking.
Yeah, that'll probably be the nearest equivalent. Give me a sleight of hand check in the tower because you don't have crude tools you're using against a good lock. So actually, I'll just adjust the DC. Okay, so give it a try. Good luck. Not a chance, unfortunately.
I think we just have to kill all the orcs until we find the one with the keys.
Yeah, thanks, Stuart. You're right. It is Thieves' Tools. So I'm not sure if Thieves' Tools are available in Middle Earth. The Thieves' Tools are available in Middle Earth if any of you have them, and I don't think you do.
No.
Well, Monin, you made a really good try at that. You actually can feel some of the mechanism moving. You try to get a second bone in there, but you just keep slipping. There's a greasy old bit of chicken bone that just keeps slipping off one of the tumblers inside. You couldn't open it.
I'll have one more go, then I'll leave it.
Okay, have another go. Yeah, much less easy that time. You didn't get it into the same start position at all. Didn't work.
So, Dodie, how much do you need your hands?
It goes a bit white. Eyes go wide. No, I'm brewing.
I'm jesting with you. We'll have to go and get a wee bit further in here, get the key off somebody. Were you awake when they put you in these chains?
Yeah, there was a big orc from inside. He came out, a big fat goblin, and he locked me in.
Can you describe him? What armor is he wearing?
It's
What weapon did he have? What did he have on his head?
Well, he's basically a bit fat, big fat goblin. Well, he had scimitars like all of them, those sort of big crude ones. But he was really big and fat. But he kept the. So there was when I was in here, and he points down the wall. There's another chain here, just lying on the floor with manacles. He said there was a human here, but they look like I think they killed him, and I think they put him in the pot. Then they're probably eating him. But there seemed to be they were celebrating after they could drag me back. I'm just really scared. I think they're going to eat me next.
They probably are.
Yeah.
But we'll try our best not to let them do that. Presumably they went down the eastern tunnel there.
Yeah, I've not been out of this room, so I don't know where that goes. But I haven't seen many other orcs come back out here for hours. since I was brought in here about 12 hours ago, maybe. There's not been many other orcs coming back out.
Right. Can I go and get him some non-foul smelling water, if there is any, and anything that looks that he can eat?
Yeah, so there's no water here, but there's definitely like kegs of beer plus bottles of wine and stuff. The food, you'd find some dried bread and stuff like that. It's all pretty manky. There's not a lot of nice food, and you probably wouldn't want to eat whatever's in the pot.
No.
We got a ration, so I don't mind giving him some water and some rations from...
Obviously you're mad, he's a hobbit. He'll eat all of them.
I'll only give him a little bit. I'll control the portions. I'll give him a child's portion.
I'll give him some from mine as well.
Okay. He's very thankful he hasn't been fed since he's been down here.
Right. Look, Dodi, if anyone comes, you say...
Dindi.
Oh, sorry, Dindi. You can just say that there was some fight amongst the orcs, fighting over you, and that might give us a bit of time. Now, there is one alive up the other way. That's the problem.
All right. He looks a bit worried at that. He won't get me, will he?
No, he's tied up.
Oh,
Has a sore knee.
oh, thank you, but please hurry up. I'm so scared down here.
Right, should we move on further then?
Yep, don't worry, we'll be right back.
All right. You kind of head around the corner.
And that's where we'll leave this episode. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching, depending if you're doing this as a podcast or a video. Remember, in the description you can see all the different ways we provide this media and the way you can actually get in contact with us should you wish to. A big thank you to the subscribers on all the platforms, and we can see that viewing numbers are going up, which is very nice because it takes obviously bloody ages editing these kind of things, so it makes it all the worthwhile. Next episode we'll go looking for that key in through the Goblin tunnels, but until then, happy adventuring, cheers, goodbye.